Good morning student. Today we will discuss voltage control in VSI. First we discuss need of voltage control in VSI. In V by F control of induction motor, according to speed of motor, output voltage must be changed. So variable voltage is needed at output terminal and moreover on load variation terminal voltage change. However, some loads demand constant voltage. So to maintain output voltage constant, voltage control technique is used in case of VSI. For example, एक सिंपल सर्किट से समझने की हम लोग इसको कोशिश करेंगे. फॉर टाइम बीइंग हम लोग इसको कह देते हैं ये हमारा इन्वर्टर का एक मॉडल है. या मॉडलिंग ऑफ इन्वर्टर है. Although this is not correct representation of inverter, but in discussion we can use it for our understanding purpose. Let me assign the values so we can easily understand the concept. Here V naught given by output current into load resistance. Suppose if we take R as a 40 ohm, then output given as 40 divided by current, that means 10 plus 40, and it comes as 80 volt. Now if we increase our load, say R is 15 ohm, then output voltage 15 into 100 divided by 10 plus 100, it will come 60 volt. If now further load increases, R is equal to suppose 10 ohm, then output voltage will come 10, 100, 10 plus 10, and it will come 50 volt. From this calculation we can show our terminal voltage decrease as load current increase. Okay. Second, voltage control may be carried by two methods. First one, external voltage control, and second one is internal voltage control. First we take external voltage control. In external voltage control, a fixed DC first fed into inverter and then fed to a AC voltage controller. In inverter we vary our frequency, and in AC voltage controller we vary our output voltage. So at end we get variable voltage and variable frequency. In second method, first we fed to a chopper circuit and then fed to inverter. In chopper circuit we get variable voltage, in inverter we get variable frequency, at end we get variable voltage and variable frequency. Now disadvantage of this method or drawback of this method. First, there is increase in additional power loss and size of equipment as the number of stages increase. Here first inverter, AC voltage controller, chopper or inverter. Second, the filtering requirement become costly due to external equipment. More harmonics generate. Now we take on internal voltage control. Internal voltage control carried out by PWM method. First one, single pulse modulation. Second one is multiple pulse modulation. And third one is sinusoidal pulse modulation. In short, this is called as SPM, this is MPM, and this is called SPWM. Now, advantage of internal voltage control. Output voltage can vary within the inverter. So number of stages not increase. Second, lower order harmonics can be reduced or eliminate by PWM. So first we discuss single pulse modulation. Or SPM. Here we draw V output without any modulation, and here we draw with modulation. Let me draw pi and 2 pi line. For single phase bridge inverter, 0 to pi output positive and pi to 2 pi output negative. In case of single phase full bridge inverter. In SPM मॉड्यूलेशन हम लोग पल्स की विड्थ को 2D तक रिस्ट्रिक्ट करेंगे. This one is 2D and this is also 2D. फर्स्ट केस में आउटपुट का RMS हमारा VS है. सिमिलरली अगर सेकंड केस के लिए हम लोग RMS कैलकुलेट करेंगे, ये हमारा आएगा 2D बाई पाई इंटू VS. That means output RMS 2D pi pi into VS. आउटपुट वोल्टेज हम लोग वेरी कर सकते हैं पल्स की विड्थ को वेरी करके. इफ वी राइट Fourier analysis of SPM, we can write 4Vs upon n pi sin n pi by 2 sin n d into sin n omega t. If we calculate fundamental component, put n is equal to 1 and it will come as 4Vs upon pi sin pi by 2 1 into sin nd sin omega t. Similarly, third harmonics component 4Vs upon 3 pi, it will again 1 into sin 3d and sin 3 omega t. If we calculate fifth harmonic component 4Vs upon 5 pi into 1 into sin 5d into sin 3 omega 5 omega t. And total RMS given by fundamental square, third harmonic square, fifth harmonic square and so on. Now, to make output voltage close to sinusoidal, harmonics should be reduced. So let's we talk harmonics elimination. अगर हम लोग अब थर्ड हार्मोनिक कंपोनेंट को रिड्यूस करना चाहते हैं, दैट मीन्स V03 comes as a 0. So V03 given by Fourier analysis 4Vs upon 3 pi sin 3d sin 3 omega dt. If we want make it 0, we can make sin 3d is equal to 0. That means 3d can be pi, 2 pi, 3 pi and so on. Now that means we can write d as a pi by 3, 2 pi by 3 and 3 pi by 3. Now our pulse width 2d is given by 2 pi by 3, 4 pi by 3 and 2 pi. Here values are greater than pi, so we can neglect it. So 2d comes as 2 pi by 3. That means if we make pulse width as a 120-degree, third harmonic component not appear in output voltage. Now if we want eliminate fifth harmonic component, then phi d is equal to pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi and so on. That means our pulse width 2d given by 2 pi by 5, 4 pi by 5, 6 pi by 5, 8 pi by 5 and here these values are greater than pi, so we can neglect. That means our 2d comes as 2 pi by 5 or 4 pi by 5. सो मेन डिसएडवांटेज इस मेथड का ये है कि अगर हार्मोनिक्स एलिमिनेट करने के लिए हम लोग पल्स विड्थ चेंज कर रहे हैं तो आउटपुट वोल्टेज भी उसी के अकॉर्डिंग हमारा चेंज हो रहा है. दैट मीन्स हमें कोई दूसरा ऐसा मेथड चाहिए जिसमें हम हार्मोनिक्स अलग फैक्टर से रिड्यूस कर सकें और आउटपुट वोल्टेज अलग फैक्टर से हम लोग एडजस्ट कर सकें. Vrms, as we decrease pulse width, output RMS also decrease. This is major disadvantage of this method. That is, need a scheme in which two factors are involved, one for output voltage and one for harmonics reduction. So we come on multiple pulse modulation. In multiple pulse modulation from 0 to pi, we create multiple pulse. Here we create 4 pulse. And width of each pulse given by d by n. That means here 2d by 4, that means comes as a d by 2. Each pulse width is equal to 2d by n, where n number of pulses in each half cycle. Here output voltage Vs upon root 2 remains same as in SPM. and Fourier analysis of above waveform can be 4 Vs upon n pi sin n gamma sin n d by 2 sin n omega t, where sin n d by 2 control our output voltage and sin n gamma control our harmonics, or with the help of sin n omega we can eliminate harmonics. Now let's derive the formula for gamma by taking only 2 pulses and each pulse width given by formula 2d by n, that means comes as a d, because here 2 pulse, and let me half the first pulse, and this is gamma and this is d by 2. And this is theta 1, it's also theta 1 because pulse is symmetrically spaced, and this is theta 1. Now we can write 3 theta 1 as a pi minus pulse width, that means 2d, and theta 1 can be written as pi minus 2d divided by 3. Now gamma can be written as theta 1 plus d by 2 from above figure. So gamma can be written as pi minus 2d by 3 plus d by 2. In general, for n pulse, gamma can be written as pi minus 2d n plus 1 plus d by 2 by mathematical induction. Now realization of 3 pulse modulation. With the help of a comparator, we generate 3 pulse or n pulse in which we compare a carrier signal to our reference signal. If carrier signal magnitude greater than reference, output generated. If carrier signal magnitude less than reference signal, no output created. Let me draw our triangular carrier wave. For 0 to pi, here only 3 triangular wave, and this is our reference. Here we draw our gate pulse or output pulse. Let me draw some lines. For this reason, our VC greater than VR, so output appear. This output can be treated as triggering pulse or output. because triggering pulse trigger the thyristor and during the triggering pulse output appear. Now if Fc is our carrier frequency and Fr is reference frequency, so number of pulses given by Fc upon 2 Fr in each half cycle, and here pulse width for each pulse given as 2d by n 1 minus Vr divided by Vc into pi by n. Although this scheme is better than previous one, but further harmonics can be reduced by sinusoidal pulse with modulation. So let's talk about sinusoidal pulse with modulation. In pulse with modulation, reference wave is sine wave instead of a constant value and carrier is triangular wave. In sinusoidal modulation, two cases are possible. First one, peak of carrier wave coincide with zero of reference wave. Let me draw a sinusoidal waveform and a carrier wave. Peak coincide with 0, so starting with peak. Here we fix the logic. When V are greater than Vc, output appear. So let me mark where V are greater than Vc. In sinusoidal pulse width modulation, each pulse width also modulated. If we observe our first pulse and third pulse, width are different. Let me shade it. Now case second, when zero of carrier wave coincide with zero of reference wave. Let me draw triangular wave starting with 0 and our reference waveform. Here logic same, when V are greater than Vc, output appear. Let me mark where V are greater than Vc. Let me draw the waveform for same. Here each pulse width also different. if we count number of pulses here, it will 6 and here it is 5. That means in first case, when peak coincide with 0, number of pulses appear as a 2fc upon 2fr. And when 0 of carrier coincide with 0 of reference, one pulse is less. Since we know dominant harmonics given by 2n plus minus 1, where n number of pulses in each cycle in each half cycle. For n is equal to 3, dominant harmonics are 5th, 7th and so on. If we take n is equal to 9, dominant harmonics are 17, 19 and so on. So in SPWM, we increase number of pulses so that order of dominant harmonics increase. Doing so, filtering is made easy. Okay. These three methods or technique are old, but it's basic of all modern technique like bipolar modulation, unipolar modulation, etc., which are used nowadays. And modern techniques is not in our syllabus, so we will not discuss here. And thank you for watching.